7 years was a long time. Long enough for a face to change. Long enough for a city to grow around old memories. Long enough for two people who once promised forever to become strangers. But 7 years wasn't long enough for me to forget her. Her name was Elena Hart. And the last thing Elena had ever said to me was something I had carried like a wound. Don't wait for me. I was 24 when she left. She was 23. We were young, broke, ambitious, and stupid enough to believe that love could survive anything. We had grown up together in the same small town. She knew every version of me. The angry teenager, the nervous college student, the man who worked 2 jobs just to afford a tiny apartment. I knew her dreams too. Elena wanted to become an architect. She used to sketch buildings on the back of restaurant receipts while we waited for our food. Whenever I teased her, she'd smile and say, "One day, I'll design something people will travel across the world to see." I always told her I'd be standing beside her when that day came. I believed it, until the night she left. She had received an opportunity overseas, a prestigious architecture program. It was everything she'd ever wanted, and I just lost my job. My father was sick. My family was drowning in debt. I told her I'd find a way to follow her. She looked at me for a long time, and she whispered the words that destroyed me. "Don't wait for me." I thought she meant she didn't love me anymore. So I let her go. I never contacted her again. I never asked why. And I never knew that she spent the next 7 years regretting those 4 words. Until the morning she came back. I was standing inside the old train station, waiting for a client who was supposed to arrive from another city. Then I saw her. At first, I didn't recognize her. She stood near the entrance with a black suitcase beside her. Long brown hair, cream-colored coat, a little older, a little thinner. But those eyes, I knew those eyes. My heart stopped. Elena. She froze. Her fingers tightened around the suitcase handle. Then she slowly turned. Our eyes met. For 7 years, I had imagined this moment. Sometimes I imagined yelling at her. Sometimes I imagined walking away. Sometimes I imagined holding her so tightly that the entire 7 years disappeared. But when she finally stood in front of me, I could only stare. "Daniel," she whispered. Hearing my name from her lips hurt more than I expected. "You're back." She nodded. "I am." "Why?" Her eyes moved away from mine. "I needed to come home." "Home?" I laughed bitterly. "You've had 7 years to decide where home was." Her expression cracked. "I know. Do you?" She looked at me. For 1 second, I saw the Elena I remembered. The girl who used to fall asleep on my shoulder during late-night movies. The girl who stole fries from my plate. The girl who promised we'd grow old together. Then she looked down. "I heard you were doing well." "I am." "I heard you started your own company." "I did." "I heard you bought your father's house." "Yes." She smiled faintly. "I'm happy for you." That sentence made something inside me snap. "Don't." Her smile disappeared. "Don't what?" "Don't come back after 7 years and tell me you're happy for me." Her eyes became wet. "I didn't come back for you." I stared at her. The words were familiar. Painfully familiar. "Then why are you here?" She swallowed. "I don't know." "You don't know?" I thought I did. Silence stretched between us. Then she whispered, "I thought maybe you'd still be waiting." My chest tightened. I stared at her. Waiting for what? For me. The station suddenly felt too quiet. 7 years of loneliness. 7 years of pretending I had moved on. 7 years of forcing myself to believe she had chosen another life. And now she was standing in front of me, wondering if I had waited. I took a breath. "No, Elena." Her face fell. "I stopped waiting a long time ago." She nodded slowly. "I see. You told me not to wait." "I know. So I didn't." She closed her eyes. For a moment, I thought she might cry. Instead, she picked up her suitcase. I should go. I watched her walk away. Every instinct inside me screamed to stop her. But I didn't. At the station doors, she stopped. Without turning around, she said, "Daniel." "What?" "Please don't wait for me this time either." Then she walked out. I stood there, completely frozen. 7 years ago, she had told me not to wait. Today, she had returned hoping I had. And somehow, she was still telling me not to. I didn't understand, but I was going to find out why. That night, I couldn't sleep. I sat alone in my apartment with an old photograph in my hands. It was a picture of Elena and me from university. She was laughing. I was pretending to be annoyed because she had stolen my jacket. We looked happy. We looked invincible. I hated that photograph, and I couldn't throw it away. 7 years earlier, Elena had come to my apartment with tears in her eyes. I got accepted. She had shown me the email. I remember how excited she was. I remember hugging her. I remember telling her, "We're going." She pulled away. "What? I'll find work there. Daniel, I'll do anything." Her expression changed. She sat down. "Daniel, you can't." "Why not? Your father needs you." "My father doesn't want me to sacrifice my life." "You don't know that." "I know you." She looked at the floor. "I can't ask you to come." "You don't have to ask. I'm coming." "No." The firmness in her voice shocked me. "What?" "No, Daniel. We argued that night. I thought she was scared. I thought she didn't want to make a commitment. Then she said something I could never forget. Maybe we were only meant to be together until now." I stared at her. "Do you love me?" She didn't answer. That silence destroyed me. I stepped back. "Okay." Her eyes filled with tears. I expected her to stop me. She didn't. At the door, she finally whispered, "Don't wait for me." I nodded. "Fine." She walked away. What I didn't know was that Elena hadn't stopped loving me. Her mother had been diagnosed with a serious illness. Her family was drowning financially. The architecture program wasn't simply a dream anymore. It was her only chance to save her family. Someone had offered her a scholarship, but it came with conditions. She had to leave immediately. And there was something else. A man named Marcus Vale, the son of the foundation's chairman, had offered to help her mother receive treatment. Elena refused to marry him. But Marcus's father made it clear. If Elena rejected their arrangement, her mother's medical support would disappear. Elena had believed she had no choice. So she sacrificed the person she loved most. She thought if Daniel hated her, he'd eventually move on. And he did. At least, that's what she told herself. 7 years later, Elena had become a successful architect. She had designed museums, hotels, and luxury buildings. Her name was recognized internationally. But every major achievement felt strangely empty. Because whenever someone asked who had supported her before she became successful, she remembered me. The person she had abandoned. The person she had never stopped loving. And now she was back. But she had one secret she had never told me. She had not returned alone. She had returned with a child. My phone rang. It was my sister, Sophie. "Daniel." "Yeah." "Are you sitting down?" I frowned. "What happened?" "There's something you need to know about Elena." My stomach tightened. "What?" Sophie hesitated. "She's staying at the Old Hart residence." "So, Daniel." "What?" "She has a daughter." My blood went cold. I stared at the photograph in my hand. "A daughter?" "Yes." "How old?" Sophie went silent. Then she said, 6. The photograph slipped from my fingers. 6 years old. Elena had left 7 years ago. And suddenly, the math in my head became terrifying. The next morning, I went to the Hart residence. I told myself I was going there for answers. Not Elena. Answers. The house looked exactly as I remembered. White walls. Tall windows. Old oak tree in the front yard. I knocked. Elena opened the door. She looked surprised. "Daniel, who is she?" Her face changed immediately. "Elena, who is she?" A small voice came from behind her. "Mom." I looked down. A little girl stood there. 6 years old. Brown hair. Big hazel eyes. She was holding a stuffed rabbit. And when she looked at me, something inside my chest stopped. Because she had my eyes. I looked at Elena. She looked terrified. "Her name is Lily. Is she mine?" Elena closed her eyes. I felt the world disappear. "Daniel, is she mine?" "Yes." One word. That was all it took. I stepped backward. 7 years. 7 years of believing Elena had chosen another man. 7 years of believing she had forgotten me. And all along, I had a daughter. Does she know? No. Does Marcus know? Elena looked shocked. How do you know about Marcus? Because Sophie told me enough. Elena's eyes filled with tears. Marcus isn't Lily's father. I laughed bitterly. Then who is? She stared at me. You. My hands trembled. Lily was still watching us. She looked at me curiously. Mom, who is he? Elena wiped her eyes. He's... She couldn't finish. I crouched down. Hi, Lily. The girl hid partially behind Elena. Do I know you? No. I smiled painfully. but I think I'd like to. She stared at me. Then she looked at Elena. Is he the man in your pictures? My heart stopped. Elena went pale. Lily, what? Go upstairs. But, please. The little girl reluctantly disappeared. I stood. What pictures? Elena looked away. Don't. You kept pictures of me? Daniel. 7 years, Elena. I know. No, you don't. My voice cracked. You had my daughter and never told me. I was scared. You were scared? Yes. She finally shouted. I was terrified. The silence afterward was brutal. Elena wiped tears from her face. I didn't know if you'd believe me. I didn't know if you'd hate me. I didn't know if you'd want her. She's my daughter. I know. You should have told me. I know. Then why didn't you? Elena's voice dropped. Because I thought you were happy. I stared at her. What? I saw your company growing. I saw your interviews. I heard you were engaged. Engaged? She looked confused. Daniel, I was never engaged. Her eyes widened. Then who was the woman in the photographs? I frowned. What photographs? Suddenly, she understood. Marcus. My jaw tightened. Marcus showed you photographs? She nodded. He told me you'd moved on. I laughed. He lied. Elena's face became pale. What? He lied to you. And you? I thought you had moved on with him. Her eyes filled with tears. We destroyed 7 years because we believed lies about each other. Neither of us spoke. Then a small voice came from the stairs. Mom. We turned. Lily was standing there. She looked directly at me. Are you my dad? Elena's breath caught. I couldn't speak. Lily looked confused. Mom. I swallowed. Then I walked toward her. Yes. Her eyes widened. You are. I nodded. If you want me to be. She studied my face. Then she asked, why didn't you come before? That question destroyed me. I looked at Elena. She was crying. And for the first time in 7 years, I understood something. Neither of us had stopped loving the other. We had simply been too afraid to find out the truth. Elena told me everything. We sat across from each other at the dining table while Lily played upstairs. She told me about her mother's illness, the scholarship, Marcus Vale, the threats, the night she discovered she was pregnant, and the reason she never contacted me. I wrote you hundreds of letters, she said. I stared at her. What? Letters I never sent. Why? Because every time I wrote one, I imagined your life without me. She looked down. I convinced myself that staying away was better. You decided that for me. I know. You stole 7 years from me. Her eyes closed. I know. I wanted to be angry. I was angry. But beneath the anger was something worse. Regret. Because I had also never searched for her. I had never asked why she left. I had simply accepted the pain. Then she told me about Lily. She was born 6 years ago. Did you ever tell Marcus? No. Why? Because Marcus wasn't involved with her. Then why did he have so much influence over you? Elena hesitated. He helped my mother. I understood. But he wanted something. She nodded. He wanted me. I clenched my fists. He tried to control me. When I refused, he threatened to ruin my career. Did he? He tried. What happened? Elena smiled sadly. I became better than him. For the first time, I almost smiled. That was my Elena. She had always been stubborn. But then her smile vanished. Marcus is coming back. My expression hardened. When? Soon. Why? He knows I returned. I stared at her. And he knows about Lily? No. Does he know about me? I don't know. That was the moment I realized this wasn't simply a reunion. Someone had spent 7 years trying to keep Elena away from me. And now that she had returned, they might try again. I stood. I'm going to protect you. Elena immediately shook her head. No. Why? Because I don't want you dragged into this. You already dragged me into it 7 years ago. She looked hurt. I regretted the words immediately. Daniel. I sighed. I'm sorry. She looked away. Then I heard footsteps. Lily came downstairs. She was holding a drawing. Dad. I froze. Elena froze too. Lily smiled shyly. I made something. She handed me the paper. It showed 3 people holding hands. A little girl. A woman. A man. Above them was a giant yellow sun. I stared at it. That's beautiful. That's us. My throat tightened. Us. She nodded. Mom said you're my dad. I looked at Elena. She gave me a small nod. Lily grabbed my hand. It was such a simple thing, but it changed everything. For 7 years, I had thought I had lost Elena. Now I realized I had lost something else too. 6 years with my daughter. I couldn't get those years back, but I could make sure I didn't lose another day. Marcus Vale arrived 3 days later. He came in a black luxury car, expensive suit, cold smile, the kind of man who believed money could buy forgiveness. I was outside Elena's house when he stepped out. He looked at me. Then he smiled. "So you're Daniel." I didn't answer. He walked closer. "I've heard a lot about you." "Can't say the same." His smile disappeared. "You should stay out of Elena's life." I stepped forward. "That's interesting." "Why?" "Because you spent 7 years making sure I stayed out." His eyes changed. There it was. Fear. Tiny, but visible. "You don't know anything." "I know enough." He looked toward the house. "Does Elena know what you did?" I frowned. "What did I do?" Marcus smiled. "Ask her why your father lost his company." My blood ran cold. "What?" He turned toward his car. I grabbed his arm. "Explain." He looked at my hand, then back at me. "Your father didn't lose his company because of bad business." He leaned closer. "He lost it because someone made sure he did." My grip tightened. "Was it you?" Marcus smiled. "Ask Elena." Then he left. I stood there frozen. That night, I confronted Elena. "Why didn't you tell me?" She immediately knew. Marcus came. "Yes." Her face fell. "What did he say?" "That my father lost his company because of him." Elena sat down. "Daniel, is it true?" She didn't answer. "Elena." "Yes." The word barely came out. My entire body went cold. "Why?" "Because Marcus wanted leverage. He destroyed my family. I tried to stop him." "You tried?" "I didn't know how powerful he was." "And you still left?" She started crying. "I thought if I stayed away from you, he'd stop." "You should have told me." "I was afraid he'd hurt you." I walked away. She followed. "Daniel, please." I turned. "You told me not to wait." Her face crumbled. "You told me you didn't love me." "I never said that." "You didn't have to." Silence. Then I saw the pain in her face. And suddenly I realized how much we had both misunderstood. Elena stepped closer. "I loved you every day." I couldn't breathe. "Every day," she repeated. "Even when you were gone?" "Yes." "Even when you thought I'd moved on?" "Yes." "Then why did you come back?" She looked at me. "Because Lily asked me where her father was." That broke me. Elena touched my cheek. "I didn't come back because I expected you to love me." Her fingers trembled. "I came back because my daughter deserved to know her father." I covered her hand with mine. "And what about you?" She looked into my eyes. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then she whispered, "I came back because I never stopped." I pulled her into my arms. 7 years disappeared. She cried against my chest. I held her like I was terrified someone would take her away again. But we both knew. This time someone was trying. The next morning, I made a decision. I wasn't going to let Marcus control us anymore. I investigated everything. My father's company, the financial records, the old contracts, the transactions made 7 years ago. And I found something. Marcus hadn't destroyed my father's company directly. He had used a shell company to purchase its debt. Then he had forced the company into bankruptcy. But there was one problem. The shell company was connected to Elena's architecture foundation. Elena had unknowingly signed documents that transferred control. Marcus had used her signature. When I showed her the records, she went pale. "I didn't know." "I believe you." She looked at me. "You do?" "Yes." Her eyes filled with tears. "Why?" "Because I know you." That was the difference between us now. 7 years ago, we had trusted rumors. Now we trusted each other. We took everything to a lawyer. The case was stronger than we expected. Marcus had forged multiple documents. He had manipulated Elena's mother. He had blackmailed Elena. And he had intentionally separated us. But there was still one problem. He had enough power to make the case disappear. So we needed evidence. Elena remembered something. His office. What about it? 7 years ago, I recorded one conversation. My heart jumped. Where is it? I don't know. We searched her old files. Nothing. Then Lily came downstairs. "Mom, what? Is this yours?" She held a small silver box. Elena froze. "Where did you find that?" "In your old room." Elena opened it. Inside was an old voice recorder. She pressed the button. Static filled the room. Then Marcus's voice. "You will leave, Daniel." Elena's voice followed. "No. You don't understand what happens if you refuse." Leave my family alone. Then make Daniel disappear from your life. The recording continued. Marcus threatened her mother, threatened Daniel. Then came the sentence that changed everything. If you tell him about the child, I'll make sure he never gets near either of you. I closed my eyes. For 7 years, I had thought Elena had abandoned me. She had been protecting me. Badly, painfully, but protecting me. Elena began crying. Daniel, I took her hand. You should have trusted me. I know, but I understand now. She looked at me. I kissed her forehead. We're going to finish this together. Lily stood nearby. Are you going to stay? I looked at her. Yes. She smiled. Good. That one word meant more than anything Elena had ever said. The evidence was enough. Marcus was exposed. His company lost several major contracts. His legal team abandoned him, and the case against him became public. But Marcus had one final weapon. Elena. He contacted her. Come alone. She didn't tell me. Instead, she left the house that night. I noticed 20 minutes later. I called her. No answer. I knew exactly where she had gone. The old architecture museum. The place where Elena and I had our first date. I drove there. When I arrived, Marcus was standing across from Elena. You destroyed everything, he said. No, Elena replied. You did. I survived you. His face twisted. You think Daniel loves you? Elena said nothing. He'll leave. He won't. You think he wants a woman with this much baggage? Elena's expression changed. You don't know him. Marcus laughed. People change. Then I stepped into the room. He's right. Elena turned. Daniel. I walked toward them. People change. Marcus smiled. But I wasn't looking at him. I was looking at Elena. I changed. She stared at me. I used to run from pain. I took another step. I used to believe leaving people alone was the same as respecting their choices. I stopped in front of her. But I don't anymore. Marcus looked furious. This is ridiculous. I ignored him. Elena. She stared at me with tears in her eyes. 7 years ago, you told me not to wait. Her lips trembled, and I listened. She lowered her eyes. But this time, I took her hand. I don't want you to tell me what to do. She looked up. I want you to tell me what you want. Elena began crying. I want you. The words were barely audible. What? I want you. She stepped closer. I want you, Daniel. I wanted you 7 years ago. I wanted you yesterday. I want you now. Marcus stormed away. Neither of us watched him leave. I touched Elena's face. Then don't tell me not to wait. She cried harder. I was afraid. I know. I thought you'd hate me. I did. Her eyes widened. For a while. Then I smiled. But I never stopped loving you. She wrapped her arms around me. This time, I didn't let go. 6 months later, Elena opened her own architecture studio. The first building she designed was a community center. She named it the 7 Years Project. I hated the name. She loved it. It's symbolic. It's depressing. She laughed. Fine. You choose. I looked at her. Home. She stopped. What? The building should be called Home. She smiled. That's actually good. Lily ran toward us. Mom. Dad. I still wasn't used to hearing that. Every time Lily called me Dad, something inside me healed. She grabbed both our hands. Come see. We followed her. The building was beautiful. Modern glass. Warm wooden walls. Open spaces. A huge garden. Elena stood beside me. Do you remember what I said 7 years ago? That you designed something people would travel across the world to see. She smiled. Do you think I did? I looked at the building. Then at her. No. She frowned. I smiled. I think you designed something better. What? A place people can come home to? Her eyes softened. 7 years ago, I thought losing Elena meant losing my future. But I was wrong. Sometimes people leave because they don't know how to stay. Sometimes love gets buried under fear. Sometimes two people spend years believing the wrong story. And sometimes, if you're lucky, life gives you another chance. That evening, Elena and I stood on the rooftop while Lily played in the garden below. Elena leaned against me. Daniel, do you regret it? Regret what? Those 7 years. I thought about it. Yes. She lowered her eyes. I do too. But she looked up. I kissed her forehead. If we hadn't lost those years, we might never have understood how much they mattered. She smiled sadly. That's not an excuse. No. I took her hand. It's just something I learned. What? That love isn't about waiting. She looked confused. I continued. It's about choosing. She smiled. And what are you choosing? I looked down at Lily, then back at Elena. You. She smiled. Even after everything. Especially after everything. She rested her head against my shoulder. Then she whispered, I still remember telling you not to wait. I laughed. You've said that enough times. I was stupid. You were scared. So were you. I couldn't argue. Then Elena turned toward me. Would you have waited? 7 years ago, I would have said yes. But now I knew better. No. She looked surprised. I smiled. I wouldn't wait. Her smile disappeared. Daniel, I'd come after you. She stared at me. I took her hand. There's a difference. Her eyes filled with tears. And then she kissed me. Not like two people trying to recover 7 lost years, but like two people who finally understood that love wasn't measured by how long you waited. It was measured by how bravely you chose each other when you finally had the chance. Below us, Lily shouted, Mom, Dad, look. We broke apart and laughed. Elena wiped her tears. Should we go? Yeah. She started walking. I stopped her. Elena. She turned. I smiled. Don't tell me not to wait again. She laughed. What? Because this time, I walked toward her. I'm not waiting. I took her hand. I'm coming with you. And for the first time in 7 years, Elena didn't walk away. She stayed. And so did I.